Liberals doubling down on their awful, horrendous anti-police policies because they're terrible. That's what they do, even after historic crime surge and violent crime. In Austin, Texas, if your life is in an immediate danger or a crime is no longer in progress, residents are being told to no longer call 911. They're being told to call 311.
We are experiencing staffing shortages. Many times people do have to wait on hold when they're calling 311, and we're just going to be working the best that we can given the circumstances that we have regarding staffing.
This is crazy. And while crime rages in New York City, Mayor Bill de Blasio is rolling out a new initiative to hire greeters at precincts to act as customer service. Go around the table. Dagan, customer service, you know, crime stopping, I thought was number one, but apparently now they're focused on other things, like Christmas greeters and stuff.
These are more tales from the left-wing Luniverse down in Austin, Texas, or excuse me, the People's Republic of Austin. I think most people in Texas would be happy if they strapped air balloons to that city and hope it floated somewhere to the northeast. And then there's New York City, the Big Apple, or as we refer to it, hell on earth. But this is all related to liberal policies of coddling the criminals, of vilifying the cops, and then the victims, what victims? They're just tossed away like garbage, like detritus. And just question, if your car is carjacked and you're standing on the side of the road, do you call 311 or 911? Yeah. Anybody living in a liberal city is having the family conversation of, if I get attacked, what do I do? If I see somebody in the street getting attacked, what do I do? Because there's nobody there that has your back. Like, I'm thinking about carrying a hockey stick down the street, just so I have.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. Like, every day I see dangerous, mentally ill people in the street chasing people every day.
I just pretend I'm mentally ill myself, and people generally leave me alone. Some liberals would argue I am, maybe Richard. So Richard, listen, I find the real systemic racism, being that I was a cop in an overwhelmingly minority community, Black and Hispanic, East New York, Brooklyn. The real systemic racism is divorcing them from policing, where they get preyed on by lunatics and animals every day. And they would come out and tap me on the shoulder and like beg us to do something, but say, please don't say anything. I think that's the real systemic racism. I think liberalism itself is systemically racist. Your thoughts on that as a liberal?
Well, I think that's a very loaded question. But let's actually have a conversation around how we make policing better in this country, right? Because I think that's what we're all trying to strive for at this table.
I agree.
And so what we saw over the past couple months was we saw Democrats and Republicans try to come together and get the George Floyd Policing Act done. They had everybody at the table. They had the police unions at the table. They had Black Lives Matter at the table, and they were making progress. Recently, we know that those talks fell apart. The police union came out this week, and they said, here's why. They thought that thought the talks were very productive, and they're like, these bills were going to give us more money. They were going to give us the ability to reform our police departments. They were going to give us the ability to create a universal standard on how we do policing around the country. Unfortunately, Tim Scott walked away from that, and that's really sad because we could actually have gotten something done for this country that would make crime go down and also make people trust police more. Because the problem that we have in Black communities, to your point, Don, is that... Dan, sorry, my bad.
Sorry.
Don Levin?
I get that all the time.
The problem that we have is that there's a breakdown in trust and there's a breakdown in communication between police and communities of color. And so, yes, communities of color want police to be there to stop crime, but they also oftentimes don't trust the police at night and various times. So we've got to figure out a way to bridge that divide, and this bill was a step in the right direction to do that.
Okay, well, Richard, you wanted to have a conversation about improving policing. We did have that conversation last year, and you guys decided to defund the police.
No, we didn't.
That's what they did in Austin, Texas. They defunded
Seattle,
the
Portland,
police to the tune of
to be very clear,
$150 million was slashed out of the police budget. It was the biggest defunding of any city in the country. They're short 400 officers. That's why there's a crime surge. That's why they have 60 murders so far in Austin. That's why it's a 60-year high in Austin, Texas. That's why last year, a 911 call averaged 7 minutes, and this year it averages 9 minutes. A lot can happen in 2 minutes. You should know that. So when you talk about, oh, you're not going to do anything except defund the police, and when you have your house broken into, they steal the safe, they jack your car, you're going to call someone who's coming. A guy like you in a suit who's going to come write something down. Okay, so what else did they take? That doesn't make people feel safe, Richard. Don't you want to feel safe?
Yeah, but let me,
I want you to feel safe.
But to be clear, I'm not for defunding police. I'm for defunding bad police officers.
Well,
get
your
Kennedy.
whole party
Kennedy.
defunded them.
Kennedy, I know you have something
I
to say.
don't disagree with that. I think that we have to make it easier to get rid of the bad cops who are oftentimes protected by police unions. 99% of the police officers out there who wear the badge and do the job, they're good people who want to protect citizens and make life better. They want to apprehend bad guys and do a good job. The bad ones give the good ones a really bad name. And that is one of the issues that I have, and I think that's a conversation we can have in terms of criminal justice reform. This just in, some breaking news, Dan. Texas has voted to
It's gone.
kick Austin out of the state. So Austin is no longer part of Texas.
Really?
So that's what it
Who
says.
gets Austin? Do we give it
So-
to Mexico?
No, Austin's its own country.
Oh, it's its own country.
It's a city-state, like Athens used to be.
Austin stand.
Yes, exactly. So
Listen,
they're
just
going to
finally,
figure out their own way of doing
In
it.
closing, real quick, the reason there's that distrust in the black community is precisely because of Black Lives Matter, telling people police are hunting black men. I've been in those rooms. Nobody's hunting black men. Trust me.
And
I've been
guess
in
who
rooms.
those
That's
communities
just
voted
nonsense.
for
That's
New York
totally-
City mayor? A black former
Right,
police
Eric
officer.
Adams, who I was a police officer with. Up next, the surge at the border be damned. What the Biden administration is doing that will turn the crisis into a catastrophe.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.